Today I'm going to show you how to upgrade your Storm Chaser's base camp in LEGO Fortnite. If you haven't heard the news, LEGO Fortnite has an endgame now in the form of the Storm King, who is essentially a world boss with limitless power that we have to defeat. And the first place we have to go before visiting the Storm to defeat the Storm King is this base camp, and it looks a little outdated. So we're going to change that. Let's get into it. Step 1, we are going to tear down this weather tower. For the sake of the tutorial, I am doing this in sandbox, but you could easily do it in survival. Just build yourself stairs and floors as scaffolding. Also, I don't have an exact material count, but the only things you're going to need are wood and granite, so just stock up on those and you'll be fine. We do have to be a little bit careful as we get close to the bottom here so we don't break anything that we don't need to. But essentially everything in this little house we can break, including the walls, because we are going to completely rebuild it. And this machine behind me looks super cool. I'm honestly not sure if we can rebuild this, but I'm gonna break it. If you don't want to break it, that's your call. No promises. I honestly have no idea if we can rebuild these. Okay, so this is what it should look like once you're done breaking everything down. And this is my first tutorial. If you have any suggestions on how to make these better, or if I'm going too quick, please let me know. But moving on, we're gonna grab the castle railing 4 and line it up perpendicular with the wooden fence and stack it 4 high. Then we're going to take the same piece, line it up perpendicular with the fence that we just made, and then stack that 4 high. Repeat that process one more time. Then once we get to the end here, we're going to have to use a smaller version of this wall so we can make sure that we line up perpendicularly with the house. Also not 100% sure if that's a word or not, but here we're going to grab the castle railing 3 and stack that 4 high. And I'll flip it the other way just so it looks a little bit cleaner. On this side, we're going to take the castle railing 4 again, stack that 4 high. And finally, we're going to grab castle railing 1 and finish up the fence. And I really like this fence design. I feel like it kind of looks like a chain link fence, and it can be used for a lot of different kinds of builds in this game, so I might be doing this more in the future. Now that we have our fence up, hello there, Carl. Now that we have our fence up, it's time to get the foundation of our weather tower in, and we're going to be using these wood foundations as temporary pieces. So anytime we use one of these, just know that it's temporary. We're mainly using it just to measure or place blocks where we wouldn't be able to otherwise. And you will see what I mean by that in a little bit. But for now, we need to find the middle of this fence. And it might not be 100% even, but that's okay. As long as we get close, it will look just fine. So we'll go 2 out. And then what we're going to do is use snap mode, get this into place, and then move 2 over to the left, and then 2 over to the right, and then add 1 more on each side, and do the same thing this way, and 4 blocks here to make a perfect square. And then we're going to take the Tudor half wall, and I'm using this because it looks black, although I'm pretty sure it's actually a brown piece. It's just very dark brown, but it's close enough to black. That's why I like it, and I don't think we actually have a black column. But if you don't have this, I believe this is from the Salty Seaport set. If you don't have the Salty Seaport set, even if you just use a granite foundation or a granite wall, that looks just fine too. We'll build these a little bit higher soon, but for now I just want to get something in place so we can start working. A lot of this is going to be really repetitive, and you can really make it as high as you want to. We're essentially just going to be building staircases going up, and it's pretty much the same thing the whole way up. So for now, that's good. Now we're going to get rid of our temporary pieces. Again, this is just to make sure that we have a perfect square. And I just want to see how this looks from the outside, just to make sure we're on the right track. And yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Now we're going to take the rough charcoal floor from the Friendly Neighborhood set. And if you don't have this, you can use any piece that's this size, 4x4x1. Don't want to use the black and you want to use gray instead. Another good piece from the Friendly Neighborhood set is the rough Gainsborough floor. But other than that, I mean, honestly, any piece you can find. The Lion's Night, this one would work. If you have the Haunted House set, this one would work if you want to build it out of wood. Even just the basic Majestic Manors, the castle floor would work. And I've built it in gray and it looks just fine. So don't think that you have to build it in black. But I prefer it in black, so that's what I'm doing. Now what you want to do is nudge this. So now that we have our temporary piece down here, we are going to take the fire escape half stair from the Friendly Neighborhood set, line it up with this, and then, hang on, this might be easier to do from the side actually, just so we can see. So we're gonna go right here, and then we're going to nudge this until we reach our temporary piece, and then hit place. Then we can get rid of this. That's again just for measurement. Then we're gonna take the rough charcoal floor 4x4x1. We can't use snap mode here because it doesn't snap to the top. So this part's a little bit tedious, but you have to get it to line up correctly with this. And place it down. And then we're gonna place 3 more going the other way, and you'll notice that this lines up perfectly with this. And we're essentially just gonna repeat this process all the way up. So take your fire escape floor, and again, we can't snap this because, well, you can snap it. I guess it doesn't make too big of a difference. But it just bothers me if it's not the exact same as the first stair. So this looks totally fine. You can do that if you want, but I'm not going to. So I'm actually gonna measure it off of this stair, and there we go. We have it lined up. We can place that, and we'll do the same thing here. Take the 4x4x1 rough charcoal floor, line it up, build 4 of these, and repeat. So do that all the way up. We'll probably do maybe 5, 6 levels, maybe a little bit more, but again, you can make it as high as you want if you don't like the height of this one. Let's do it. This is usually the part where I notice something's wrong and I built this whole thing for nothing, but I think we're actually okay, and this is looking pretty good so far. We do have to bring these up a little bit, so let's do that. And I think it should still be a little bit taller, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, let's see how this looks. This, I feel like, is a much better height. I think that looks good. So if you want this exact height, you will need to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 floors. I think I said we were going to do 6 at first, so a little off, but that's okay. And then we just need to bring our walls up again. Okay, now what we are going to do is place more temporary blocks down. This part is kind of tricky because what we need to build next is actually not going to be attached to these posts until we build it higher. You'll see what I mean by that in a minute. Hang on, I did something wrong. I'm confused. I built these all the way around because I thought I messed something up, but I don't think I did. This is built as a perfect square. So, okay, we're gonna try this a different way. You know what? I'm making this way too complicated. This is what we're gonna do. Take your Tudor half wall, put it here, put another one here, another one here, and this is where we need to build. And this part is important. What we need to do is drop this 2 notches down, and then bring it 2 notches over right here. That should be correct. Now, let's see. Is this correct? Yes. Right? That should be right in the middle. We're good. So these are temporary. Those are going to stay there for now. Now what we're going to do is go over here into the floor category. Scroll until you find the rough Gainsborough floor, again in the friendly neighborhood set. If you don't have this floor, you can use any other floor that is gray, but this one is the cleanest, so that's what I'm using. Now, the reason we are putting these on top is to make this a perfect square. So I'll show you what I mean. If you take a granite foundation, this is technically not a cube. It is a rectangular cube. Is that the right term for it? So what we need to do to make it a perfect cube is place one of these on top, and that actually makes it a cube. So then if we're trying to build a circle out of cubes, it is much easier because this is actually a cube. If that makes any sense at all. So we're gonna go back up to the top, and keep in mind, for every gray piece that we place up here, this is what we have to do. We have to place this little slab on top. I wish there was a cube piece, but this is what we have to work with. It's Lego. Okay, now moving on, we are going to place one in the middle, get rid of these, and then build out. So 1, 2. We'll place one here eventually, but we can't get rid of these yet, or else this is gonna fall. So in the other spots, we'll place 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we have to place our floor on top to make it a cube. So everywhere you just placed a block, just place one of these. There. Now what we're going to do is get started on our next layer of the circle. So we'll place one of these down. This will be a temporary block. Place it right on the corner here. And actually, we're going to have to place it here instead. Okay, so what we're going to do here is snap this into place right there. And we're pretty much just going to go all the way around, just placing a block, one off and one up. Oops. And I completely forgot we had to put this back into place. Give me 1 second. So we actually should be able to... We should be able to break these now. So now that we... Yes, so it stays now, which means we can place this piece that we were supposed to place earlier, place our floor on top of it, and then we can finish this up. And now, if you want to, you can get rid of these. You don't have to because it's going to be covered up anyways, but I will get rid of them. And again, place these floors on top all the way around. Level 2 is complete. So again, we'll place our temporary piece down, and this one is going to be 5 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to have corner pieces too. So the corner piece will be right here, but again, we can't place it, so we have to put this down. And I'm just going to put all of our corners down while I'm at it. And then we'll get rid of our temporary pieces. Again, don't have to do it, but I like to just to make it look cleaner. So there's layer 3, and it looks kind of crazy right now, but once it's done, it's actually going to look really cool. For the next layer, again, we're going to put down our temporary piece. We should only need 1 on each side this time. And this pattern is going to go 3 on each side, and then 2 on either side of the 3. And that is what one side should look like. So 2, 3, 2. So we'll do the same thing here. 3, 2, 2, and then 3, 2, 2, and our final side, 3, 2, and 2. And don't forget the floors. Now our next layer, we're going to do a pattern of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 on each side. So do that the whole way around. So 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I'm counting wrong, but this is right. 4, 5. One, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Nope. 1. Okay, 1, 2. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd probably make this easier if I just wasn't talking. And 1. Okay. So that's our next layer. We just have to add our floor on top. And you can tell the shape of the sphere is starting to come in. And it looks pretty cool. Okay, and what's nice about this portion is the layer that we just built, it's actually going to be the exact same pattern for 2 more going up. So just rinse and repeat. But don't forget to put your floors on. Again, we'll do this one more time. Okay, now, our next layer is essentially going to be the exact same thing as this layer. Essentially just copying the bottom of this, but doing it in reverse. So 3. We'll need our temporary piece. And then 2. Actually, I guess we don't need a temporary piece. So 2. And then 3. 2. And 3. 2, 2, 3, and finally 2, 2, and don't forget the floors. Then our next layer is 5, 1, 5. I'm going to do all the 5s first, to make this a little quicker. Then again, we need our temporary pieces. We'll get rid of these in a second. Put our floors on. And this is all very tedious and repetitive, but in the end it's going to look super cool. I'm going to put our temporary piece down for the next layer. And then this pattern is just 5 on every side. And we are going to need a corner piece right here, so you can snap mode this one into place and put the floor on top. Okay, and this should be our final layer. So put our temporary piece down, and this one we're essentially just filling in the blanks here. So 3 on each side. And I'm just going to leave that one there. 3. Three. Put our floors on, and then our sphere will be done. And there we have it. But we are not done. We still need to add some details. So we are going to go back down to the bottom and go into our stair category and find the fire escape stair. And we are going to put this on going all the way up. And I actually did this already and noticed that I did it wrong, so I'm redoing this. But again, this part's super repetitive. What I did wrong was I built it off of the first stair. What we want to do is build it off of the floor. So place this, and instead of moving after you place it, I found that it's easiest to place it down and then just nudge it over. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'll see you guys when that's done. Okay, and I guess we're going to leave this up here. I think it looks okay. I guess I will get rid of this, though. And the piece that I'm going to use for this next portion is going to be the haunted stair railing. If you don't have this, you can use any other railing that has these dimensions. But what we'll do is bring this down until we just reach the sphere and nudge this into place. And we're essentially just going to do this pattern, but going all the way down like so. And you can't snap these into place, so you're just going to have to nudge it. That should be... Is that one off? Or are we good? I think we're good there. Okay. And this can be a little tricky without snap mode, but it is still doable. So we're just going to keep going as far as we can until the ground gets in our way. This is probably the last one we can do. It's pretty hard. If we can't snap this into place, it's kind of hard to go lower. So this will be the last one, unless we can get this. Hang on. Oh, we are one stud off. Oh no, we're not the same height. Okay. Okay, no big deal. We don't need that there. But we're pretty much just going to do the same thing on every side. It looks like we were a couple studs off there. Now we just have one more side. And there you have it. Now, one thing I think would look really cool is if we brought these fences and essentially just replaced the whole outer fence with these. So I'm going to do it on this side just to see how it looks. It's super simple, and I think it just looks better than what's already here. It looks like it's not going to fit perfectly, but that is okay. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. One thing I don't know, I wanted to redo this roof, but I don't know if these are available to build anywhere, and I think that these do look pretty cool here. So let me know what you guys thought about this. I'll probably end up finishing this and building it all the way around, and maybe redoing some of these buildings too. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.